Finally, we know the location of 2 of the 3 ancient weapons, because as of chapter 1053, it's been confirmed by both Robin and Kozuki Sukiyaki that the ancient weapon Pluton is actually located within Wano. However, now that we know the location of both Pluton and Poseidon, it's only a matter of time before the location of Uranus is finally revealed. And seeing how we are going to be entering the final saga of One Piece, most likely by the end of the year, it's safe to say the time to reveal Uranus is probably a lot closer than you expected. But what if I told you that Oda has already revealed the location of Uranus even before Pluton? As within Wano, we get hint after hint of not only the location of Uranus, but also what, or in this case, who, that final ancient weapon is. And no, it's not you. But even if you can't be an ancient weapon, you can still enjoy never-ending One Piece content by simply smashing that subscribe button and hitting that noti bell, so you'll always be aware when I upload a new video. But before I tell you about the final ancient weapon, I feel the uncontrollable need to explain the lore behind the ancient weapons, only for the sake of explaining my reasoning before anyone in the comment section start demanding my head for believing in this theory. So in order not to get my head lopped off by the masses, I will be first explaining what an ancient weapon actually is, and if you still think I'm some type of idiot after watching this video, be sure to let me know what you believe the ancient weapon is in the comment section down below. But for now, let me explain a little bit about ancient weapons. And to put it quite simply, ancient weapons are 3 powerful weapons that are easily capable of causing mass destruction. These weapons can come in a variety of shapes and sizes, given that the 2 weapons that we do know about are Pluton, some type of battleship, and Poseidon, who is most definitely not a ship. So it's clear to see that weapon in this case is a very broad term and actually doesn't have to be a literal weapon. In most cases, this would make it very hard to pinpoint what is an ancient weapon, because it can quite literally be anything. But fortunately for us, we are actually given a rather large hint by Oda, and this hint is their names. I mean, think about it. Poseidon, the Greek god of the seas, and we've known about both mermaids and fishmen since all the way back in Arlong Park. So believing that Poseidon would somehow be connected to the merfolk wouldn't be that far of a stretch. The same can definitely be said about Pluton, the Greek god of the underworld, being located on a volcanic island such as Wano. I mean, volcano, underworld, Pluton, come on, it makes a lot of sense if you think about it even a little bit. And those of you that have seen my last video with my theory on the location of Pluton understand how significant this actually is. So given that the names of the other ancient weapons hinted at the location where they would be located, you'd think that Uranus would be the same, right? Well, yes, but also no. Before I explain, let me tell you what Uranus means. And if you've been paying attention to the naming, I bet you notice a naming pattern for all the ancient weapons, with all of them being named after some type of Greek god. Uranus also follows this naming pattern, being named after Uranus, the god of the sky. So if we believe that the name of the ancient weapons simply hinted at their location, Uranus would most likely be some type of sky island, or perhaps even the moon. This is actually quite a popular theory within the One Piece community, that Eneru will one day descend from the sky with the moon to finally take his place as the one true god of the world. Something that I would actually love to see, but I don't think Oda will go that direction. But a completely different direction that Oda could take it is that the name Uranus doesn't represent the literal sky, but instead something that has a close relationship with the sky, like possibly the sun, or in this case, a certain newly awakened sun god perhaps? Well, you've guessed it. I believe that the final ancient weapon is Luffy. Wait, don't click off the video quite yet. Trust me, you'll want to hear the rest of this theory. Throughout all of One Piece, Luffy has been closely related to the sun. I mean, he grew up on Dawn Island, dawn being the time of day when the sun starts to rise. And to make this connection even scarier on how long Oda has been planning this out, the first arc ever within One Piece is literally called Romance Dawn, in which Luffy liberates both Kobe from Alvida and a whole entire island from the tyrannical rule of Axe-Hand Morgan, already living up to the title of the Warrior of Liberation from the very first arc of One Piece. But the sun references don't end there. I mean, they are everywhere in this story. This ship, the Thousand Sunny, which was given that name for the fact that it will sail through any danger and keep shining like the sun, just like someone else we know, but also recruiting Jinbei, leader of the Sun Pirates, and the constant mention of bringing the dawn. And finally, his unexplained fire powers. I mean, look at this scene here. It literally looks like Luffy is wielding the sun as an attack. like. But the most powerful connection would have to be his devil fruit. Now, let me clarify something. I do believe Luffy is now Uranus, but I don't think he was originally, unlike Shirahoshi being born with the powers of Poseidon. Instead, I believe the original ancient weapon was actually the newly named Gomu Gomu no Mi, now officially known as the Hito Hito no Mi Model Nika, which the direct translation is literally the human fruit model sun god. I mean, how more blatant of a connection could you get? Now, look at this panel from the Enaru cover story. We know that many people believe that this panel actually reveals the 3 ancient weapons. Well, what about this small sun icon? Is it just me that thinks these little swirl patterns look very similar to devil fruit designs? Not only that, but the name Nika is actually a reference to another Greek god, specifically Nike. No, not the shoe brand, but it is true that the Nika fruit and Nike were based on the same god, with Nike being the Greek god of victory, and strangely enough, music. But these fall perfectly in line with Luffy as a character, as victory can be seen through Luffy freeing or helping people on every new island they visit. And we all know that Luffy has been obsessed with finding a musician for the crew ever since the first volume of One Piece. So now we have 2 different named sun gods, Nika and Uranus, but what if these 2 gods were actually one and the same? And it makes so much sense once you think about it. I mean, we know that the Gorosei tried and even succeeded in wiping out the true name of the Nika fruit, replacing it with the Gomu Gomu no Mi that we know today. But what if they couldn't wipe out the memory of the Nika fruit from all of those who witnessed its power? What if, while people forgot the proper name for the devil fruit, they still remembered its connection to the sun god? And eventually, the people started renaming this powerful devil fruit as the ancient weapon Uranus, the weapon that would eventually liberate the world, the fruit that would bring the dawn. Now, this theory may be one of my favorite One Piece theories yet, and I can totally see Oda revealing this fact, just like I believe that he will eventually reveal the location of Pluton very soon. But if you want to see what I believe Pluton actually is, be sure to check out my last video right here. But until next time, bye bye!